Pyramids in the Faroe Islands. Faroe. If you thought the pyramids in Egypt were big, look at the pyramids of the Faroe Islands of the white people. And oh man, this place in the middle of nowhere there, which is like, it's part of the kingdom of Denmark. The tribe of Dan, of the 12 tribes of Israel. But it's in the middle of nowhere between Iceland, Norway, and Scotland. They're autonomous, even though they're part of Denmark, but they're autonomous. They're not even part of the European Union. They have approximately 55,000 people. And this is the remains, the Faroe Islands, which is amazing. And the pyramids, those are not mountains, those are artificial pyramids. And why? Because the Faroe Islands are the remains of Frisland, which was a continent island, which is now under the ocean, flooded. Oh, so good. And it was on the ancient maps, and we don't have any maps before 1700s because we are reset people. This is so cool. I feel so ignorant. So anyway, the Faroe Islands, let me just give you an insight, which again, of course I knew about them, but it's just on one of those remote places. You just say, I'm gonna read about this in the future, and then I look now, and it's so amazing and it's so impressive, and like I'm totally shocked to the core of my existence. They're sparsely populated. Like I said, between Iceland and Norway and north of Scotland. The people speak Faroese, which is a language close to, attention, ancient German. And their second language is Danish. So they actually have their own sovereign language. It's Faroese, which is close to ancient German. Actually, and this is like when it shocks me to the core of my existence. They can speak... So their language is similar to Icelandic. They understand each other in a way. Not entirely, but it's like people who speak Italian and Spanish. They understand each other if they speak slowly. So it's just amazing. So anyway, several mountains on the Faroe Islands are pyramids. Everybody can see this. I'm not going to give the names because they're so difficult to pronounce. The language is like their own language. It's Faroese. But this shock, you don't have to be a genius, a super doctor, a researcher to understand that these are pyramids and not natural mountains. And the landscape around the pyramids, they look so artificial. There's more men than women. Women are very beautiful, men as well. Men are beautiful. So because there's more men than women, some men had no choice but to import brides from Thailand and the Philippines through online agencies, so in order to have women and to marry. They're fertile. The medium is calculated as a woman has 2.5 kids, so each woman has between 2 and 3 kids. One of the most fertile places in Europe. And what can I say regarding what this place is, which the big majority of people don't care about, and the researchers as well. Like I said, the Faroe Islands is what remains of the once big continent island of Friesland, and there's actually a place in North Germany which is Friesland, and that's the reason why North Germany has Friesland, because there was a big continent island in between Iceland, Norway, and Scotland called Friesland, and it's just 2 days ship travel if you go from North Germany to the Faroe Islands. And that's the continent of Friesland is now underwater. There's no maps. All the previously, so the old world maps before the 1700s, they actually show Friesland where the Faroe Islands are right now, it's just shocking in your place. Why are there no pre-1700 maps of Faroe? You understand? Of course, we will not speak about here the change of the calendar and the adding of the years and the faking of history. Man. Anyway, you can look at the maps, and actually I have here in front of me, I can't show it on the screen right now, maybe in the future, but you can clearly see continental Europe with Scandinavia, so Norway and Denmark, and you can clearly see Iceland, and you can clearly see Greenland, and then you have Friesland exactly at the north of Scotland and the south of Iceland, and from the west of Norway. It is truly amazing, and you have the satellite images, and you can see on the bottom of the ocean the rest of the big continent island, and the Faroe are what's left of it, and then you have the pyramids and also the the people of Friesland, they're mentioned in the epic of Beowulf, which is the English epic, and also they're mentioned in the mythology. And there's like a lots of like mentioning of dwarves and giants and Irish and dragon. By the way, the English epic of Beowulf is about defeating a dragon, reptilian reptile. It's so awesome, so good. And then here's the reason why the Faroe Islands is not found on the pre-1700 maps, because it was Friesland. There was no Faroe Island. It was the continent island of Friesland. Just like the UK is a big continent island, you had Friesland, and Faroe are the remains of the flooded land of Friesland. It even says so, Friesland, on the main maps. Then, of course, they changed history, and they, even though the leader of the island was like the leader king who built the pyramids and all that stuff, and then they said, oh, this is the god, mythological god, and they changed the leader who was the king who built pyramids with technology and all that stuff, and then they said, oh, it's a god from mythology. The same they did with the Irish. The Irish gods are called Tuatha De Danann, and that means just the people of Dan, which means one of the tribes of Israel. Which is, again, Israel is not the country; it's the human species. And then, of course, you have to read more about this, and you have to research. And Tuatha De Danann means people of Dan, of the tribe of Dan, which are the white Europeans. You should look at the people of the Faroe Islands, their aspect and stuff, and how they look. It's too sad that there are only about 55,000 of them. There should be like at least 50 million. That would be awesome. Anyway, what can I say? Even like when you start researching and you see the history and the facts and stuff, you don't have to be a genius to understand that those things that we see, we call marvels of nature and mountains, they're not marvels of nature. You see, there's a difference where people don't care because they don't research. We have mountains which are ancient giant trees, like the mesas and the butes, or like the ones that were like completely terminated. You can clearly see they're trees. Ancient trees, and what's left is the stump. And so that's like one of the mountains we call. And then these type of mountains, they're pyramids, and because they were left unattended, they had like dirt and grass and stuff growing on top of them for many years. And then we have them like today there's no research, there's no archaeology, and they just say, oh, it is a mountain, it is a marvel of nature. No, it's not. Just like the ancient giant trees were cut, and now we call them mesas and butes, or like many of the chains of the mountains, which are like totally destroyed via strong winds and stuff. And what happened in this case, we have the pyramids, and you can clearly see their pyramids. Even the top of these mountains, they sometimes still have these angular 90 degrees escalinated tops. So yeah, I just want to show you a bit of the truth. And this is like just one of the many remote areas in the world, and this is so important to understand the history of Europe and the continents which are flooded, and of the tribe of Dan and the white people and everything else. So yeah, it's one of those things that obliterates you, mind blows you away, and definitely mind blown me away, because I feel so ignorant and frustrated with myself for not reading about the Faroe Islands before. Like, the tourism actually started from the 2010s onwards. So before 2010, nobody even cared about going there unless you were like completely, totally interested. I mean, let's be honest. Nobody cares about going to Iceland and North Scandinavia, much less to go to the Faroe Islands. And yeah, it's one of those things. And I'm so glad that they're sovereign. They're actually sovereign. They have a sovereign language, and they're not part of the European Union. They actually refused to have the euro. So gosh, I wish they would multiply more and have like 50 million people at least, to be as big as Germany or France or Spain. So yeah, see you in the next video.